All right, well, let's start with...
It's like they've been saying here that our facility is in disrepair. And I said, my God, Pat Howie, since she's come on board, we just got the thing painted. I said, heating and air, acoustics, timing systems, starting blocks. I said, we're in the best shape we've been in 10 to 15 years. So I said, at this point, we have nothing more to do to the pool. There's nothing. We're boom. So I said, unless somebody, I said, now certainly if somebody wants to drop 10 to 15 million on us and buy us a new pool, I said, we'll accept it. But I said, no, we're not looking for anything new for our facility. And this facility is more than adequate to do what we're doing. And I think we've proved it over the last few years that we can do it.
Yeah.
So
facility, you build a 12 champion, over 12 years.
Yeah. So it's exactly.
Last week, let's start with Wednesday. Where were you? How did you find out? What were your thoughts going into the day when you knew it was going to be D-Day?
Sure.
How did it come about for you Wednesday?
Well, my wife and I were in the mountains at Lake Lure having a little vacation, and Pat Howie had told me that they were going to have a meeting Wednesday afternoon, and they asked if I would be on a conference call. And so that basically is there was a little glitch in the conference call, and so Jimmy called me back. Jimmy Bass, our athletic director, called me back, and he then gave me the word of what the report had to say, and that they were going to be sending the report out. And at that time, he told me that amongst the teams that were potentially going to be dropped were going to be men's and women's swimming and diving. So we were over and finishing up or in the middle of our vacation. With this news, needless to say, it really put a little bit of a downer on the vacation. So my wife and I packed up the next morning and we drove back to Wilmington so that I could have a meeting here on Monday with Pat Howie and Jimmy Bass. And so that pretty much put everything where we are at this point.
I know one of the things with the IRC, they wanted to meet with coaches prior. I met with some of the student athletes. During your meeting, walk me through the meeting. I mean, was it you presenting your case? This is why you shouldn't cut us. Is that basically what those meetings were?
Well, they gave us an opportunity to speak about our programs and give a little bit of background on our programs and where we've been and what the type of things that we do in the program. So, and that's what I spoke about. And then there was an opportunity for questions, and they asked some questions, and they were very, very good questions, I felt. I also was asked if there were any particular needs that we might need in our program and what we needed, and I spoke to that. The question was asked about our facility, whether or not our facility was adequate or needed upgrades. And to be honest with you, our facility is just fine. It's been a good pool for us, and with the things that the university has done for us over the years, the facility is in good shape and doing just fine for us. So that was the type of thing we had. We spoke about the swim school because we were asked to talk about any community service programs we do or community outreach in the swim school that we run here during the summer that we do. And so I spoke about that and the fact that this is the 35th year of the swim school. And I did a quick math this morning, and in those 35 years, we have taught in excess of 33,000 youngsters in this program. And right now, we are getting many youngsters in the program, second generation, whose mom and dad were involved in our program when we first started in 1978. So, that's been a good, I think, a good program for the university and for the public.
And when you state a case like that, do you get any response from them?
Yeah, I felt it was a very positive type of response. The questions that we got from different people on the committee, I think, were very, very good, and it was. I enjoyed the exchange that we had. It took about 15-20 minutes, and it was a good, positive exchange.
Do you feel now, hindsight, being 2020, that you went into that a decision had already been made?
Bob, and I've asked my question that any number of times. Was there a predetermined decision even before the committee was put together? I can't answer that because I don't know. Certainly, I've heard some things over the last few days, which I then have to wonder if maybe that is the case, but I don't know that for a fact, so I'm not going to sit here and say that it was. I would prefer just to think that the committee was given an assignment to do, and they went out and did that assignment.
Have you had the opportunity to ask questions since the decision, again, for the recommendations. Have you met with Pat or Jimmy or the Chancellor since then?
Not with the Chancellor. I did call a meeting or ask for a meeting with Pat Howie and Jimmy Bass. I did have that meeting Friday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that is really the only feedback that I was able to get. The committee, of course, is no longer around, and they are deferring anything you ask of them to the athletic director.
Did you get answers in that meeting? Satisfactory to you?
No, I didn't feel that all of the answers were Jimmy, in his response to me, just felt a little bit, I would say it would be appropriate to say that he was reserved in what he could say, because I don't think he's had an opportunity at least to have a full discussion with the Chancellor and know exactly what the Chancellor has to say. So as a result of that, there's still a number of things or a number of items that were left unanswered and off the table.
One thing that people have asked me since is, have any of the coaches or athletes been told, hey, this is why we recommended to cut you? Have they said anything like that to you? That this is ultimately why there was a recommendation against your program?
No. No. The only thing that we know is, just like everybody else, that they have some financial difficulties, and that they feel that they cannot afford or continue with the expenditures that they now have. And so they're looking to save money. How
unfair is this? Not just to you, because I know the stance is that you don't want to see anything cut.
No, I don't believe that cutting, and in the history of, and I've been here now 36 years, going back to Coach Brooks and all of the athletic directors that we've had since then, their position has always been never, ever, ever drop sports. It's a slippery slope to go down. And here we are today at a position where it has been recommended from within our own university to drop sport. And I think that hurts. That hurts a great deal, because from within the walls of this university, we are now taking away something that I think, I'd like to believe at least, provides a very positive impact to a number of students here at this campus, and can provide some enjoyment to not only students and faculty, but also some folks in the community in terms of being spectators at these competitions.
When it happens the way it happens, you mentioned within the walls of the university, is there a feeling of betrayal?
To a degree, you sort of feel like all of a sudden you got punched in the gut, and you're going, whoa, it's coming from someone that you would not expect it from, and so, yeah, to a certain, I don't know if it's betrayal, but it just feels like all of a sudden you have lost some respect. You worked, I know all of the coaches here work so hard to try to make the university proud of what they're doing and what their teams are doing. And these athletes do the same thing. They're putting so much time and effort into trying to be successful. And then when something like this happens, you sit there and you go, well, maybe we're not appreciated, and there is a lack of respect for what we're attempting to do. That is the thing that I think really hurts. That hurts.
And over the period of time that has elapsed, I'm sure, and I heard you mention it, this has kind of been at the forefront of thought. Do you let yourself fall back into the, well, gee, if they want to get rid of us, what has the past 37 years meant to the university?
Exactly. You in my situation, I've been coaching now for 44 years. 36 of them have been here at this university. So I've really built a lifetime here at this university. And to get to this point in time where I'm at the end of my career, to have this happen, you go, wow, have I sort of been wasting my time? You just sort of second guess a little bit. And that's the part that it's a little bothersome.
I know your temperament is to be upbeat. How do you stay there now? Do you keep reminding yourself these are just recommendations?
I'll be honest with you, the thing that has lifted me up very much over this last week has been my family, and then my extended family of my current swimmers and divers and alumni. They have really rallied. They have come to my house. They have called me on the phone. The emails and letters have been overwhelming. And when I say overwhelming, I have been overwhelmed just by the outpouring of support that I've gotten. I had a phone call last night from a family here in Wilmington that I first met when I came here in '77, and their child was a competitive swimmer at the time, and we haven't talked in any number of years, and they were just calling to reach out and say how bad they feel that this situation is happening. So that is what has really been very helpful to me, and so I've relied on others right now to sort of lift me up a little bit.
Have you been surprised by that? Are you surprised that people have come to back you up?
I will, in all honesty, yes, I am, because everybody, they're all over the country. Some are even in other parts of the world right now, and they're getting on with their lives and their families and whatnot, and all of a sudden for them to refocus their attention back into our program and to bring back stories and memories of things that happened when they were here and how the program made a positive impact on their life, and them taking the time to relay that to me either in a personal phone call or in a letter or an email. That to me has been very touching and very overwhelming, and I, at the end of the day, I thank my lucky stars that I have really done what I've done, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunities that I've been given. But I'm very, very thankful for all these folks that I've been in contact with, because they're just great people and great representatives of this university.
And how does that help kind of cancel out the feeling you have from within the walls?
Well, these are things right now that they can never take away from us. They can never take away the alumni and the strong feelings that we have for one another, and they're not going to be able to penetrate that. And so I know that these friendships are lifelong, and that we as a group of athletes and alumni, we will hold strong together, and we will lift one another up. And they're there for you in the good times, but they're there for you, they're proving right now, in the bad times as well. And that's what true friendship is.
How proud of your current, former student athletes are you that they rallied like that when the news came out?
I can't come up with enough positive words to say how proud of them I am. They are a fantastic group. I am just so pleased to be able to call each and every one of them a friend. And like I said, I'm overwhelmed with everything that is coming forth. I had a call from one of our alums who graduated back in '94. He's now a doctor out in California. And he called me, and you know, I'm not a big social media guy. I do email, I don't Twitter, and I don't Facebook and that type. And he wanted me somehow to get on Facebook and read some of the stuff that our former alums are putting out there, because he said it is so moving and so touching, you have to see it. And I still haven't done it because I still can't figure out how to do it. But you know, that type of thing to me is just overwhelming. It really is. And I'm very proud of all of ourselves. And you know, I'm proud of our program. I really am. I'm proud of what we've done, and that's something I don't think they can take away from us.
What do you and the kids hope to get by the online petitions, the letters? Do you feel that it will break through to somebody that is in the decision-making process? I hope so.
What do I want to get out of this? I want to see the program continue. I want to see it continue long after I'm gone. I mean, my time here is definitely narrow and short, but it's important that the program continue. I've always talked to our athletes and our students about the fact that nothing is ever bigger than the program. No one individual is ever bigger than the program. And that stands so true today. The program needs to continue because it can touch so many lives. It can have such an effect in a positive way on young people's lives. Young people who come into a college environment, 18, 19, 20, 21, that is a maturation and growing time in their life. And you know what? They're going to make some mistakes, and they're going to do some things. It's sort of a training ground for them. And they learn lessons that are going to help them to grow and improve and get better. And when they get out in the world, they remember those lessons, and they become stronger citizens, and they become strong, you know, parents and husbands and wives, and it just makes society, I think, a lot better.
Will you get to meet with anyone between now and whenever the ultimate decision comes down? Has there
I
been
don't
anything?
know. I don't know if that opportunity will be given to us. I don't know that.
Have they told you when to expect an ultimate decision?
Somewhere within the next week to week and a half. No firm dates have been given.
What do you do between now and then?
Right now, I am trying to work very hard with our alumni because they're working hard to try to, get this thing turned around. I'm working very hard with our current athletes because I'm concerned about them. If this program comes to an end, they need to have an opportunity to go to some other school and finish their careers. And that's the thing that is a major concern to me right now. They need to be able to go and finish their education, and they need to be able to go and finish their collegiate athletic career. And so I am contacting other schools right now on behalf of our current athletes and trying to gauge interest in them if in fact they end up dropping this program.
Outside of the program, this has to be the second thing that touches your heart as far as...
Oh yeah, I mean, my wife and I started this program in our kitchen back in 1978, and to see what it's doing now. Unfortunately, because our staff is gone and all the swimmers are gone because the program dissolved, the swim school goes away as well. So there won't be any swim school any longer, and so that is a community outreach program that comes to an end. And I think that's very sad because the number of people who we've had and we provide opportunities for in this program. And a lot of these kids, as they learn how to swim, and then they go on and get life-saving certificates, they're lifeguards at the beaches. So there's a never-ending chain of circumstances that come about where this simple little program that doesn't get a lot of recognition can really help out in a great way, not only here on campus but off campus as well.
Have you let yourself put the pessimist hat on and think, this is it?
Unfortunately, every day. Yeah. And that's hard because I love this program and what I do so much. I just don't want to see it come to an end.
I know everybody knows the end of their career will come, and you could not have predicted this.
No.
In saying that, the fact that you guys are going down with a fight, is that how you would have wanted this to go, as opposed to just, hey, we've had our time?
Absolutely. We've been fighters ever since we started this program. We have had to fight to, get into a conference. We started out at the bottom of the conference. We moved ourselves up. Our whole team, our whole philosophy has been fight, never say die. And that's why I'm so proud of our alums right now, because they haven't forgotten what they have gone through and what they put into this program. And they're coming back right now, and they're fighting right down to the bitter end. And this fight, as far as they're concerned, is not over. And then even when there's a final decision, I'll tell you, they're going to continue to fight. They're an amazing group of people.